Hey, welcome everyone. I welcome you to this episode of Coach APM's Expert Talk Show. And typically, you would have observed me bringing professionals or the experts from different domains, and they help you out in your career-related aspects. And all the advice they provide, all of the advices are related to your career. Okay, the very practical and strategic advice. But today's talk show is little different. Today's talk show, the topic is so important and it has got so much of potential that it can not only uh, affect your career, but it can affect anything what you're doing in your life, or it can affect your even life itself. Okay. And the topic for today's discussion is health. And why we have brought this topic in, because as we know that health is the base of everything, and we have seen many professionals, typically people who have got sitting job, suffering from many diseases related to their spine and their neck and whatnot. And that is why we decided to bring on board Dr. Shibani Dixit today. Dr. Shibani Dixit, I welcome you in this talk show today. And
Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to have you here with us.
Thank
So
you so
just
much
for
for having me. Yeah.
yeah, thanks a lot. So just for everybody's information, Dr. Shibani Dixit is a physiotherapist, and she specializes in spine and pain management. And I have been in touch with her for multiple different reasons, and I found her way of dealing with her patients very practical and not in hurry. And she takes what the whole process of curation very in a very natural manner. That is what aspect I really liked about her, and I thought why not to bring her here, and so that my community people can also get benefited by her. So welcome once again, Dr. Shibani. And
Thank you.
so let me just start by asking you that, see, our problem, like my problem would be my unique problem, or the patient look at their problem as their own problem. Okay, but for you, so many patients you would be seeing every day. So what are the typical types of problems working professionals come with when they visit your clinic? So let's start with that first.
If this webinar is only and only directed to sitting professionals, we see a lot of postural problems coming in.
Mhm.
Now, we can categorize this problem in kind of two very main domain, which will be spine and non-spine. So,
Mhm.
if you can see on the slide, you can see with the percentage of mostly patients coming in with these troubles. Now, if talking in very layman term, these troubles can be anything ranging from pain, tingling, numbness, heaviness, burning. So it's very subjective to everyone. But
Mhm.
these are the major joints involved when we talk about spine.
Mhm.
Versus if we talk about non-spine factors. So you can, all right, so these are the spine problems and the percentage with which it affects the joint versus here is the other factors of inactive lifestyle or having sedentary working job. These are the other factors. However, my domain actually is only spine. So we are here.
Okay, great. So, and we are going to focus on this only mainly. So it's a good focus area.
Yeah.
Now, I see that beautifully you have mentioned four different areas. Like for example, right now I'm sitting and I can see that, okay, I need to put my posture now right. Okay, sitting in front of a
That's
physiotherapist.
good.
So I see wrist, neck, shoulder, and the lower back.
Yeah.
And I'm sure all the guys who are here, if you are okay to share your questions in the chat box, please keep putting in what kind of problems you face or anyone known to you is facing. We can discuss about that also here. So what I would like, Dr. Shibani, if you can briefly tell about that, what kind of problems people face when it's about neck, wrist, shoulder, low back. You categorize them with the type of pains as such, but if you can say specifically what problem people mention when they visit you, so that people here who are watching or will watch later on, they can relate with that.
Mainly people coming from IT professional, they complain of postural pains or more of like a mechanical pain. If it's the medical term, we call it mechanical pain. If it's a layman term, we call it more like a low back pain or some shoulder stiffness, a lot of neck pain which radiates to your head, and a lot of repetitive wrist injuries. So wrist and fingers, if you see that those are very small joints, we don't kind of really think from a patient's perspective that they might have some repetitive injury. So just imagine you're doing some activity repeatedly for almost half of your life, kind of 10 to 12 hours a day. You are bound to have some repetitive injuries in small joints. Now, that's about wrist and fingers. But coming to neck, uh,
Dr. Shibani, if I can just intervene here. So you
yeah,
said that wrist, it's like a over usage of one joint in the same fashion for 10
yeah,
to 12 hours every day. That is the major cause behind that injury. Is this
absolutely.
okay?
Yes,
So
you're correct. You're absolutely correct.
and that logic would be, I think, applicable for all joints, right? Whichever joint you're using for quite long, that could probably start showing some problems.
Yeah, that's usually there, but every joint has its own significance. Like a back is lower back is kind of it's made in a certain fashion that it's used to taking a lot of load, a lot of
Mm, mm,
less
mm,
lot of movement versus a lot of load. Versus if you
mm,
see the neck has mobility, which is when you can move, but it doesn't take a lot of load. It's the first part of the spine anyway. Versus
mm,
the shoulder. Now the shoulders, because it's kind of sandwiched between the neck and the upper back, uh, they are they kind of fall back into more of what do you say, a bad posture, injuries, kind of a rounded shoulder, which can
mm,
lead up to injury in future. So I'm
mm.
not saying that just by sitting you invite troubles, but yes, if you are not taking care while sitting, which is the maximum time of your day, yes, you are definitely heading towards something which can lead to something very serious, and you will have to take some professional help for the same.
Got it. So those who are listening here, just would like to let you know that right now we are discussing more about the kind of problems people face. After a few minutes, we'll talk about what are the very natural way of dealing with them, so that you don't, even if you're not dealing, I would say, what are the precautions so that you don't reach that stage. And if you have reached that stage, unfortunately, then how to really take care of it. So we'll get into that in a while. I see some of questions coming in, so we'll deal that in a few minutes time. So we covered wrist. Let's move to other part, Dr. Shivani. We just
Yeah,
talked
so
about.
I can give you a guideline for the viewers here, so that they
Mhm,
understand what are the symptoms they are kind of okay with and should not hurry to see a doctor,
mhm,
versus what are the guidelines that they must see a professional help, right?
mhm, mhm,
A very simple example, when we get fever these days, we definitely wait and watch, and we look out for some home remedies, but if it doesn't get better in a week's time, it's a call that you need a professional help. The same goes for the spine too.
mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
so if I can take you there, if you can definitely have a look at this picture. So till the time a person is on the left side of the spectrum, which is having only localized trouble. Now I'm putting the word trouble because it's different for everyone, right? So till the time you are on the left side of the spectrum, it's okay to kind of wait and watch, and you can deal at home, or you can just see your normal, a family doctor or a physician. It's okay to not have a professional reference. It's okay. But
Mhm.
if you know that your problem starts traveling towards the right side of the spectrum, which is it starts traveling more towards your distal joint, your smaller joints, then it's a matter of concern. So these are a very typical spine pain fashion, or that's how we see in almost 80-90% of the cases. So this is something, if everyone can take a photo of, and if they know that they have some radiating pain, some
Mhm,
traveling pain,
mhm,
or it's okay if it's not pain, it can be something else. It can also be some discomfort, pull,
mhm, mhm,
pressure, tingling,
mhm,
numbness, heaviness. It can be
mhm.
very different. But if it's traveling, you got to see a professional help. If it's localized, you can have a chill pill by then.
Got it. So I think just for everybody's better understanding, Dr. Shibani is showing a very pertinent image over here. On the left side, if you see there's a circle, that means that localized pain is there. As you move towards the right side, you see the pain has a kind of a spread from that area to almost till the end of your fingers, or maybe to the on your foot, almost near that. So that's the pain which is increasing. So depending upon the stage where you are, you can understand the seriousness which you have got it. So now let's move to this the next part of this, that what are the typical causes which you think. You already mentioned about posture. I would like you to give more detail around that what are the typical posture correction people have to keep in mind, especially when people are working from home, that the arrangement is not that ergonomic or ergonomically correct.
Hmm. So, the disadvantage of IT professionals, if I say, in a day, maximum time, probably 7 to 8 hours, we are sleeping. So we are inactive. Apart from this, a good amount of 10 to 12 hours, we are glued to a workstation, right? So if you see, maximum time of the day, you are inactive. You get very less time for doing something that can actually act as a reservoir for your good health. Okay, so
Hmm.
in cases like such, if you see the causes, the first will definitely be occupational hazards, which is trouble coming because of their occupation. Now this can be anything. Now this will be the direct effect, right, which is more of like a mechanical pain or bad positioning of their spine. Fatigue and overuse injury is what we have discussed, things that we
Dr.
discussed for the
Shivani,
wrist.
For
Yeah.
1 minute, I would like to take over here. So, for the people who are not understanding exactly occupational hazards, basically, whatever is your profession, that profession brings some kind of risk with it. So, let's say
Absolutely.
if you're working in an iron factory where you have got blast furnace, so that is
Hmm.
there is a risk of getting burned by that. Okay. Similarly, when you're working in IT industry, since your job involves you to sit for a long hours, there are no other options available. You need to sit and work. So it is an occupational hazard which we accept when you accept a profession. So that is what basically
Absolutely.
Dr. Shivani meant by that. If Dr. Shivani, please over to you.
Yeah. Thank you for the simpler explanation.
Yeah.
Okay, coming back to the second one, which is fatigue or overuse injury, because the IT professionals are long time inactive in the day, they can definitely have fatigueness. So, if in that point when they are not well rested, well hydrated, they're too much into stress, be it mind or body, they can have certain injuries. Now, again, this will be secondary injuries. They will not be a primary injury, which is a kind of trauma or probably a fall, which is a direct impact. So there is no direct impact here. These are more of secondary troubles, right?
Hmm.
Same goes for overuse injury, where we spoke about the wrist and the fingers, the small repetitive movement, which actually might not be as crucial as a normal person. But when we look at you as professionals, we know that if a small movement is done over a repeated time in a very awkward or bad posture, you are
Hmm.
inviting trouble. So
Got
that's what is meant by fatigue or overuse injury.
it. Got it. Yeah. Great.
Correct. Yeah, can I go ahead, please?
Yeah, yeah, please. Yeah.
Sure. So the third one is deficiency, which can be kind of if you don't have a nutritional diet, or also when people have good nutritional diet,
Hmm.
they do land up having deficiency problem. You have heard of having low iron, low hemoglobin, right? In spite of the fact that you eat good food.
Yeah.
So many a times, uh, again, a trouble can be because of some deficiencies which was left untreated for a long amount of time. So now, if we want to take care of this can only be done if you kind of do regular checkups, right?
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
I'm not mistaken, I people do get a cover from their company.
Yeah.
If that's not possible, I would really request everyone to have a medical cover for them and their parents,
Hmm.
because it's rightly said that prevention is better than cure.
That's right.
If you invest your time, energy, and effort in preventing a trouble, you are halfway better.
Makes sense completely. And
Yeah, yeah.
is it possible that that people are taking all kind of good food and everything, still there will be some deficiency? Is it possible in today's lifestyle?
Yeah, it is very much possible. We know that things are not that pure these days. Uh, there are different factors for the same. Let's not get into that. But
Mm,
many times you do eat a lot, you do take a lot of supplements, but they're not getting absorbed by the body, right? So
mm,
that's something that a patient kind of needs to understand, that it's okay, it's not your fault every time you did your job but you still
mm,
have trouble. So that's because the receptors which your organ are supposed to accept it.
mm,
So
mm,
that's the time where we do get answers that, but we eat good food, we eat organic food, but I still have the trouble. I think
mm.
that's okay.
Okay. So though I am trying to like preempt, I know we have we can discuss it little later also if you want, but because it is attracting me. Okay, so I am willing to ask you this. Then what's the best way out? How to really get rid of this deficiency other than getting into some kind of a checkup and getting the right supplement in that case? What's the way out?
Um, the best way is actually to have right, what we mentioned, that to have checkups. The other aspect is to listen to your body, to know your body. Our
Mm,
body is designed in a fashion or in a way that it will start showing or throwing signals if there's something amiss.
yeah.
So
Mm,
I've told before as well that a week's time is a good amount of time for you to wait and watch. If you cannot fix any kind of a miss or something unusual happening in your body in a week's
mm,
time, I think
mm,
it's time to go and seek for a professional help. So listen to your body, know your body. If you're feeling something odd which wasn't there before,
mm.
you need to get it checked,
Okay. And
because
what are the
it's
typical?
very difficult from a patient view to
Mm,
understand that this might be deficiency, this might be postural, this might be overuse injuries, right? So
mm,
the
mm,
easiest way is please seek a professional help when you
mm.
are kind of not sure about it.
Yeah, got it. I think we can move to the next point now. So we got the answer.
Yeah. So the last point is absolutely very technical, which is structural. Having a problem in the structure of your spine, right? It can be either discal, it can be nerve related, it can be tendon, muscle. Now that's too technical for you,
Mm,
for a patient. But if we just if I give you a layout, so that's how our spine looks like. If you can see this, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
your lower back. That's your big hip bones. The last five will be your lower back. The big 12 bones will act as your mid back, and the seven bones will act as your neck. And this is your skull. So this is a big structure. It's a one unit which works in unison. So if there's any problem in the structure per se, then also you will end up in trouble. Now these are something that gets picked up either on X-rays or MRIs, or a little detailed investigation, not as simpler as a blood profile. So that's a doctor's
Mm,
job, and
mm,
these can be kind of silent killers for you. Few
mm,
years back, diabetes was taken as only diabetes, right? Diabetes, hey, not a problem, that's okay. But now we
mm,
know
yeah.
diabetes is an umbrella of a lot of problems. Same.
Yes,
If
correct.
you have a
Mm,
Yeah, so if you have a structural problem, uh,
mm,
if you take care, you're kind of okay. But
mm,
with some secondary problems, or
mm.
if you are unaware and you keep going with your bad lifestyle, yes, we can expect that some or the other time of your life you can
Correct.
meet us.
I think at this point of a time, very nicely mentioned this point. So at this point of time, I would like you to also touch that point which we were talking about a few days ago, that how a simple posture change changes the kind of load which your spine is exposed to, right? So if I would like
Yeah.
you to let people know, it's a very important point they should know about it.
I don't think so. I have a picture of the same because that made things easier. Okay, if in case we can see this. So you can see the correct postures that can be seen while sitting and standing. This is because a lot of importance is given to the posture, because every time you move your back in certain position, the load which is going on your spine or on your disc increases exponentially. uh, Probably we can share that photo later so that it's
Mm.
easier for everyone to understand it. But to give more gravity to this, there was a research or a study done which stated that is sitting the new smoking.
Yeah,
Might be a little off to from your end, but the hazards of smoking, right?
yeah, yeah.
Now, a constant sitting or inactivity is kind of putting equal amount of hazards these days on
Mm.
our body. So it's equalizing to the ill hazards of smoking. Two very
Mm.
different domain, but something very shocking which is coming up with the era of technology.
Yeah. No, even I was very much shocked when I heard that analogy for the very first time a few years ago. But
Yeah.
that's true that it was very difficult to believe that even sitting can be compared to something I can't say good or bad as like smoking is, right? So,
Correct.
so that's a little weird. So I think that the point which you mentioned to me and right now also you're trying to emphasize upon is that let's say if I just rotate my chair like this and if I'm sitting like this and working like that, the load is different. The moment if I just put it like this and then work, then load is almost I think it was 50% more on my back,
Yes.
right? It was something like
Yes.
that. That was a very weird, I would say weird because it was a truth and it was a shocking truth for me because
It was,
uh,
it was shocking truth. Yeah.
yes, it was a shocking truth. And I remember one of the times you also told me that when I'm sitting and working, I can ask my family members to take a pic of me so that I can see my posture. And I was surprised to see my postures. Okay, that while I was focusing too much, I was completely leaning towards the desktop, and
Screen.
that yeah, and then similarly my legs. Okay, right now also when I'm sitting, I'm conscious that my legs are they touching ground properly or not? Okay, so I these are small
I'm happy to
corrections.
bring that change.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah. It's
correct,
just like
great.
a small photo can actually enlighten you, and you got more conscious about your posture while you're working.
Yeah.
I mean, we really hope that this webinar actually opens a lot of domain for other IT professionals, that they need to work a lot on their posture, and if not the posture, the other part of the life when they are not sitting. So it
Mm.
really depends.
Correct. And I personally would like to suggest, though I'm not a medical practitioner, but basis whatever I have seen for myself or other colleagues and everybody, that many a times we don't reach out to doctors till the time we are stuck with something. Okay, but I would
Yeah,
say so we are living in a life, we are having a lifestyle which was not existing before. Means right
absolutely.
now I am working from my home office. 3 years ago, I didn't know that this can also happen. I can also earn and flourish like this. So in this kind of a lifestyle, which is kind of unknown, which was unknown to everybody, we need to take as many suggestion advice from people who are kind of a expert in their domain. So you can reach out and discuss with them. One small suggestion, I can tell you what kind of changes I could see in myself by just changing the small things, the way I'm putting my foot on the ground, the way I am putting my wrist on the table, the way I am distancing myself from the desktop, how many breaks I am taking. Just small changes would change your lifestyle, and when you start feeling more energetic, you would be able to give much more. So you will start feeling happier and better. So I would suggest to you that please keep consulting the experts. Don't try to save 1,000 2,000 rupees. Okay, so just go and take experts advice. That's my suggestion also too, if I can say so. Okay, great. So
No, that's true. I would like
yeah.
to add a comment here. So, in army, it said that the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war.
Yeah.
I think it's very well applicable here. Don't wait till you have a trouble and then you come to us and then you have a problem that we are asking you for a lot of investigations, a lot of reports. I mean, you invested time, energy, and effort so much in prevention. that you don't have to see us. So
Yeah.
I mean, this is very important that you start looking out for professional help. I'm focusing on professional help because in the era of WhatsApp University, where WhatsApp has all sort of treatment, uh, I would like to say, please don't fall for them. The technology has its own boon and the negative effects. We are just one click away. Everything is virtual after pandemic,
Yeah.
so it's better that you solve your doubts with someone who has an expertise in your problem
Correct.
rather than just going ahead and waiting for
Listen,
something
WhatsApp advices.
which can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember this WhatsApp thing yesterday. There was a cartoon in Times of India which mentioned about an institute, the Indian Institute of WhatsApp Management. So it's like people are getting carried away by WhatsApp messages. Okay, I think
Yeah.
one example I would like to quote here, a very good analogy. I will say, like, for me, the way you mentioned some of the corrections and the changes I could see. Similarly, I remember one of my friends. He's a gym trainer, and he was telling about one case that one of his clients was coming back to him and telling that she's not able to reduce weight. Even she's in the gym for more than 2 hours, she's going with all the diet whatever he is giving to her. And then he told that, okay, whatever you're eating, you just click the picture and send to me. Okay, so
Okay.
then that revealed everything. Okay, that she was eating just one chapati and some sarson ka saag, but sarson ka saag with a lot of butter into it. Roti is also with that ghee roti, and that revealed everything.
Correct.
And that is what I think happened when you meet physiotherapist and you tell the problems, or even not the problem, you just tell the posture, the way you sit, click pictures, click your videos. That will reveal everything about your lifestyle. Okay, great. Now, so
True.
coming back to the point. So one is posture. If you can quickly, Dr. Shibani, tell people that what are the some of the major posture correction they can do, which goes by default, means something which you would like to just evangelize everybody that they can implement. Our job is to tell everyone whether they implement it or not. It's up to them. Okay, so let's go ahead and impart some good knowledge to them.
So if this photo is quite visible to you, it has three postures. However, we will only focus on the first and the last posture, okay, or the last photo. If you see in the first photo, that's kind of 90% of the crowd having this kind of setup. So one is to analyze your setup. Is your setup correct? uh, I'm sure after 2 years of lockdown, people have now got there into a good, ideal setup. But back in 2020, when the pandemic hit us without any warning, we
Yeah.
were obliged to use the setup we had. So we used all sort of things we had at home, so that our work is kind of continuing. It's not at halt.
Yeah.
But those 2 years or 1 year of bad positioning is landing people in problem now. So whenever you're sitting or having your workshop or your workstation, you have to analyze: are you anywhere close to the first photo that we have? So this photograph, okay.
Okay.
Check
Okay.
the height of your screen. That is it parallel to your eyesight? How is your chair positioned with respect to your height and build? Okay, your feet should be grounded. You should have that 90-90 posture with your hip, knee, and ankle. All right, and I can understand when you're engaged in work, you will not straight and robotic. You will definitely more alert position. Be normal. Okay, we're not asking you to be robos, but please take frequent breaks. What do? We hoard all our stuff around our workstation that we don't even have to get up. We have our water bottle here. We have our all sort of amenities around. It's just one bend away. So
Mhm.
my tip will be kindly get up and take that effort to break the sitting posture and then get stuff. So that is one thing. Don't be sitting too much because we know we cannot control you while you're working. The best that you can do is when you don't have a webinar the way we have it now, why don't you reply to few emails in standing? Why don't you use a headset for better positioning of your neck, right? So why don't you have a cushion under your wrist when you are working on the laptop? Or like, okay, so the repetitive injury we were talking about is because your wrist is kind of in this position. Okay, it's on the laptop, but it's in this position. So if you can just make sure that you have some support here, and you kind of neutralize it, and you can just work nicely there. Okay, so positioning of your body is also equally important. Now this will be very, very different for everyone. Okay, but try to be in a setup which can take you or stay, or it, whenever you are relaxing, it has all the passive aids to keep you ideal. For example, if you're sitting on a bean bag with your laptop versus you're sitting on the chair, even if you are slouching on a chair, you will definitely in a better position as compared to the bean bag. So posture is not what you do. Posture is also what you have around that helps you be in a good position when you are not alert.
Hmm. I think
So
this is
using, yeah,
if I can intervene, it's like this very important point. It is always said that even I keep talking about in our workshops also that your environment is stronger than your willpower. So sometimes it happens that you might go with the flow. Okay, and if
yeah,
you if your environment is strong, if your chair, if your table, if your beam, everything is nicely positioned, so you have lesser chances of faltering. So keep your environment very much ready. And this point, which I have also highlighted right now, I think it's a very good point mentioned by Dr. Shibani, is that you need to take frequent breaks. Okay, so even if you have got very important tasks, make sure that after half an hour, 45 minutes, you take a like 3, 4, 5 minutes break, and if possible, change your posture a bit. Okay, so not maybe like after every break, but after every several breaks, probably you can think about changing posture so that your body gets into some relaxed mode for some time.
yeah.
I think it's a wonderful suggestion, Dr. Shivani.
Yeah, I would like to add a point when we talk about posture breaks. When a lot of doctors, a lot of spine specialists talk about posture break, what the people perceive is that a break has to be a walk and talk.
Hmm.
Uh, but you're mistaken. A break can be something as easy as standing up for 10 seconds and then sitting back to your original position. So you
Wow.
just have to break your current posture. If you know that you're slouching, please go
Hmm.
behind. You can stretch yourself,
Yeah.
and you can just have a breather, and then you can go back again. So you
Yeah.
need to take the break from the current posture. It doesn't
Hmm.
always mean that you have to get up from the chair and move around. That's okay. We
So
understand you're
right.
human. We
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. Right now, everybody can just you check that where is your shoulder? Is it like this, or it's like a relaxed position? Okay, so
Tap your shoulders.
yeah. Some of in some of our workshop, we always ask people to check whether your chin is up, your shoulder is back, and his foot is on the ground. So that's a
Absolutely.
good posture correction also exercise we can always keep practicing. Good.
Absolutely. Teach your family. They will
Yeah.
start correcting you. Teach your kid. I'm sure every time they will run in your room, they will say, "Dad, I think your feet are off the floor."
Yeah, and correct. So, Dr. Shivani, if I can take one or two, I think comments I can see.
Sure.
Vikas is asking something. Vikas, you need to, I think, explain. I'm not able to really get that exactly what you're asking for. APM sir, can you please elaborate your view more? You need to just please explain, Vikas, what you are asking for. Probably we talked a lot, and I skipped seeing this message. You were asking something. Sorry for that. Nidhi is asking that, good evening, ma'am. I'm suffering from curve in my lumbar spine. Kindly suggest me the correct precautions. What I have to take in future. I'm a teacher.
Mhm. So, I have to actually understand from her perspective that what are the job demands that she has as a teacher. Back then, when we were in school, it used to be more of sitting and correcting all the notebooks, which required a lot of bending, positioning at the neck.
Hmm.
However, things have changed after COVID has hit us.
Yeah.
Uh, we just have to check because how great your chair is at your workplace. if you are sitting for more amount of time,
Hmm.
or if you are indulging in more of standing when you are teaching, uh, invest in good footwear. Okay, the way we transmit our weight on the spine and on the foot, that also makes a lot of difference.
Hmm.
If you have to kind of bend in case of anything, make sure
Hmm.
you're squatting down rather than doing a complete bend from your back. Okay, so we always say that, just imagine your lumbar has a stick and you can't move. How will you bend down? So how do we
Yeah.
sit down and then
Hmm.
get stuff and come back? So there are certain tips that you can take care. Also, you just mentioned that you're suffering from curve in your lumbar spine. Every person has a curve in the lumbar spine. That's pretty normal. Until
Yeah.
and unless it is paining, it is giving you trouble, it's okay. But yeah, if it's hurting, please let us know.
Hmm. Got it. So probably, Dr. Shivani, you can also share your contact details at the end of the session, so that in case anybody wants to reach out to you, they can reach out to you. Got it. So if
Sure.
we can go back, we were talking about this slide, Dr. Shivani, where we took the different route. If you'd like to explain the remaining ones over here.
Yeah, so I think we have spoken a lot about posture.
Yeah.
Apart from this, frequent breaks during work is also being mentioned. If people remember about our point that the maximum time we are inactive, the time we are sleeping, we are inactive, the time we are glued to our workstation, we are inactive. So if you see, we have very less time remaining in our hand to stay active. So you have to
Hmm.
utilize that time of your life. Okay, I'm talking about life because we work only after till one point of our life. After which we don't work. We or probably we can't work. So you
Yeah.
have to make sure that you take certain aerobic activity. Now, aerobic activities, try to stay as much as fit as possible. We are so glued to technology that we just can't take up the stairs if you want to, even if you want to go to the first floor. Why?
Hmm.
Because we have the accessibility of a lift. So we have to very much give that demarcation that yes, the technology is necessary, but is it necessary for you? It's made it for generalized purpose.
Yeah.
If you think you can take up the stairs, go please take up the stairs. Okay,
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
try having some form of activity in the time where you're not working. Right now, this can be as simple as going for a stroll, a walk after dinner, or it can be something more intense than brisk walking, yoga, swimming, playing badminton, just being more active. It depends on your accessibility. Okay, I'm giving a varied range of activities that we consider is kind of fits into the aerobic exercise, but it all
Hmm.
depends on you. What you can pick up, what suits you, what suits your lifestyle. Okay, so that's possible. The next is sleep well. Our brain is the big boss of our body. Okay, with the stress that's ongoing with this technical life, it's very very important to de-stress yourself. So one is have like a good sleep, a sound sleep, so that you get up fresh. Also, take frequent de-stress techniques. It's I mean, don't wait till you have till you're burned out and you want to go for a vacation. Now,
Hmm.
de-stressing can be very simple as taking up a hobby, or probably do what you like, or just stay silent for some time, having your own space. Okay, understand yourself. So stressing has a very bad impact on almost every organ of the body, so we need to de-stress at regular intervals. Probably you can just have a day or a part of your day in a week where you can de-stress yourself and you can see the difference.
Hmm. So typically, when we talk about de-stressing, sleeping obviously is the one such activity which just de-stresses our body naturally. Meditation is one of them.
Yeah.
Listening to some music or talking to your beloved ones, that could be some of them. What are there any more activity which you'd like to mention as a de-stressing? It depends upon individuals, I know, but yeah.
Yes.
So
It depends on individuals. Some people like going around, walking around. Some people just like sitting idle. They don't like to be questioned every time. What are you doing? What are you up to? It's okay.
mm,
So it's very different. It's very
Mm.
important for a person to understand what you like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
does that make you a little lighter for that amount of time till you again enter that stress bubble. So
Mm.
I think this, I would like to push this question to our viewers, that it's their what do you say, talent to pick or choose their de-stress techniques, and then probably we can have another seminar for the same.
No, I am afraid that if you ask some IT professional who has already been sitting for 10, 11 hours, says that I love sitting and watching Netflix, that that distresses me. So then now it's a deadly combination, right? So
Just sit in a good posture then. I mean, it's okay. Don't be in awkward position. Lie down, lie down. Lying down is the best position. There's no
mm,
stress on the spine. So you just have to keep checking that when you're chilling, are you okay? And
mm,
also listen to your body.
yeah.
Some body, or some people's body is something that when they have a very trivial change, they don't feel it better, or they don't
Mm,
feel it nice, versus
mm,
some people can take a lot of tolerance. So it all
mm,
depends on the body. Also listen to your body, know yourself. I think that is the 2 points that I would like to vaporize, that know
mm.
yourself more, know your body more.
Got it. Yeah, fair enough. So let's move to
If
the next
I
one.
can go
Yeah,
to the other point, is that okay?
yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah, okay. So the second point is have optimal body weight. Everybody has a phone, a Google, and you can have an access of a BMI calculator. If
Yeah.
you feed in your height and weight, you will have a range of your normal body weight. So it's always preferable to be at the lower range of your normal body weight, so that in case if you put on few kgs, you still are falling in the normal range only. So having a
Mm,
body weight which is optimal is a good thing.
great. Yeah.
I think we have spoken about a nutritional diet,
Yeah.
de-stressing yourself. There's a point which says invest in prehabilitation.
Mm,
I'm not sure if our viewers might kind of understand this. It's very common these days, the word as rehabilitation. Rehabilitation means more like a treatment, but I have mentioned prehabilitation.
mm,
The more you invest in prehabilitation, the less you see us. We always have some source of income that is saved for our what do you say, when we have a retirement, because we know we will not have a good influx, but we'll have a lot of outflux of money then. So we start investing when you actually have influx, right? The same goes for our body. When we are young, when you don't have trouble, when you are all sound, when you have money, please take in that effort to start having some changes in your lifestyle, so that you are using that as a reservoir when you
mm,
actually have problem,
mm,
right? One
yeah.
thing is, if you invest too much in the preventive rehab, you can actually avoid a lot of problems because your body is trained to do the correct thing.
Mm,
In case, in an unfortunate condition, you land up seeing us, you will get better faster because with the exercise and the lifestyle changes, the muscle has a muscle memory.
yeah.
We tell you to do a lot of exercise with consistency. Please understand, it's only and only to build muscle memory. It remembers what you do. So it's
Mm,
nothing magical. You just have to do some sort of activity consistently, so that the body has a memory of it. And when you're ideally supposed to do that as a treatment, the body knows the trick and you get better faster. So recovery time also can be reduced if you
mm.
invest yourself in rehabilitation.
Got it. I think it's a beautiful point. I think everybody took note of it. I'm sure that if you are following the good things, in unfortunately, even in that case also, if you fall sick, the chances of you coming back to the original state would be much faster. if you have been following a good schedule. So because of your muscle memory, as Dr. Shibani mentioned about,
Yeah.
that's a great point. Good. So good karmas always come back. Okay. So like bad karmas. Nice. Good. So do we have anything else with
Absolutely.
respect to prevention, Dr. Shibani?
Nutritional diet. So now, with respect to nutritional diet, I would also like to add the point of having a regular checkups. There are a lot of deficiency that early lives, right? It's better that
Hmm.
you start taking the supplements for the same by seeking a doctor or a physician rather than
Hmm.
popping all sort of supplements just by having a look at the Google, because every body's requirement is different. When you
Yeah.
have a deficiency, it's just not a deficiency. You require a good doctor to understand what led to the deficiency. Was
Hmm.
it the intake or was it the absorption? Which
Got
is,
it.
take it more easier, that whether you were not able to take it, it's the intake problem, कि आपने कभी खाया ही ना हो, or
Hmm.
you are eating or having it properly, but you still have a
Hmm.
problem where it's an absorption problem. So now it's a doctor's job to identify. Your job is just to have regular checkups, do your bit, and if
Hmm.
you feel that you have some consistently deficiency and also your body shows some sort of symptoms, I think it's the time that you should see one. And
So
again,
yes.
here I would like to mention a point. We always think that pain is the only symptom that you should see a doctor.
Hmm.
Um, it's a myth. Okay, if you have what do you say, mental cloudiness, you are unable to process your thoughts, you are
Hmm.
fatigued the entire day, you are absolutely lousy in spite of you doing everything, you don't feel that you can actually focus in spite of the environment being absolutely perfect, you
Hmm.
should see a physician and they will guide you for certain blood checks and we can get out of some deficiency. So that's what I'm saying. Anything off, you have to just understand if it's having consistently, you are
Hmm.
not able to fix it with 1 week of your home remedies or
Hmm.
WhatsApp University, please see a doctor.
Hmm. Got it. I think it's again a very important point that don't just believe that unless you are getting pain, everything is okay. So the other conditions which Dr. Shibani mentioned is very important to take note of it. And Dr. Shibani, I think at this point of time, I would also like to request you, since you have got a very good practice in Pune, also you can give online consultation. So I would really like you if you can share your contact details with everybody, those who would like to get in touch with you, because I see one or two people writing already. So you can please share that. If you have any slide like that, then I think you can better just project that so that everybody can take a note of it. If you have that.
So, if people are in and around Pune and they want to kind of have a in-person consultation or a checkup, I practice in Kalyani Nagar with Pune Spine Institute as a spine physiotherapist. They can call on the number to fix up an appointment with me. If you are not in and around Pune, I think that's not a problem with the virtual treatment. You can call in and ask your doubts on the given number. Spinopedia is my venture. I like to read a lot about spine. I'm a spine freak. So when I encounter anything unique and interesting about spine, I have a page on Instagram named as Spinopedia. I share it so that more and more people know about my passion. So either ways, you can either have a touch or be in touch with me on Facebook, Instagram, or directly on the message.
Perfect. Thanks a lot for showing this path to everyone, Dr. Shibani. I'm sure that with this all the knowledge which you have shared today, it's really going to help people a lot.
Thank you so
Great.
much for having me. Is
Thanks
there
a
any
lot.
doubt that we would like to clear, or are we done for the seminar?
No, I think I'm really happy to see many people are appreciating the kind of inputs you have given in this webinar. And if you have more doubts, I think I will keep bringing them to you. Okay, and you are going to answer them. I know that. Okay, so
Okay.
thanks a lot, Mr. Shivani, and it was a really good good session. And you made it sound so simple, for everybody to understand the basic nuances of having great health, great life.
Thank
So
you so
thanks a lot.
much.
Thank you. And let's end this session by saying that the kind of see, I talk to many individuals throughout the day, right? It's a one-on-one session, group session, webinar, workshops, okay? And so I see that all of are very different, very different, okay? Some of us focus on money at one point of a time. Some of us are focusing on relationships. Somebody is focusing on getting power. So focus is very
Yeah.
different. But one thing is very common. While focusing on any of these aspects, if you're not focusing on your health, then this focus is going to go for toss, right? That's for sure.
Yeah.
So health is where the
Very,
base.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that is where I started. That being healthy is the basic, or is the basis of everything. Don't forget that. Don't ignore it at any cost. Take out some time. Keep these small nuances Dr. Shivani mentioned, and you will be happy, healthy, and you will have all the goals fulfilled. God bless you, everyone.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. Have a very spine-tastic day.
Wow, very nice. You got our back. Okay. Great.
Yes. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.